ladies, welcome back to another episode of Life of a Rich Girl Show. We are so excited that you are here with us. Glad that you stopped by, tuned in. And so here at Life of a Rich Girl, you know, we are all about education, elevation, and exposure for our own personal development, right? That's what we're doing. Today, we have the honor of being here for our Beyond the Brunch series. If you were not at Brunch and Black 2023, you missed a whole vibe, okay? It was so amazing. This year, we had the privilege of honoring 5 dynamic women with Richie Awards. And today, we are here with Miss Patrina King. She is the CEO and founder of Golf Women Mean Business. We cannot wait to get into her story today. Before we jump in, though, you know, I got my girl, Jalon Smart, here with me, one of our Rich Girls co-founders. And so we are going to be hosting this conversation. But with all of our Life of a Rich Girl shows, y'all know we like to do things you may not know, right? So before we jump into this conversation, we're gonna pull you right in, though, Miss Patrina. We pull you in with things you may not know. And so one quick tip I'm gonna give: when we're getting dressed for events like this or photo shoots, stuff like that, we always get into the space of putting on lipstick. Right, this lipstick, and then it's on our teeth, right? So I learned this little life hack that I've been using and I share with others. I actually had to use it today because whenever you get dressed up, you know, this lipstick thing is a whole vibe. So keep the lipstick off our teeth, girls. Finger in your mouth. Okay? It's going to pull all that extra lipstick off from the middle so that you don't get it on your teeth when you smile. Look at me. Right? So that's a little life hack that you can use wherever you are, especially for your photo shoots and whenever you get all dolled up, girls. Listen, we got to get that lipstick off. Another quick tip with that is put a Kleenex, right, or a napkin over your finger before you do it. That way you don't have to then go and clean your finger off. That's all we got to do. Put it right over that and you are in it. So Miss Patrina, what's a life hack? Things that, you know, somebody just may not know that you've learned.
So I don't mean to bring this to the business, but life hack in golf. People overthink the whole relationship thing. The whole business deals are done on the course. How do I do this? Life hack, just be yourself. It's not that deep.
Just
don't
be
invite
yourself,
people that
right?
you may not like. They might not like you. Don't invite them. It doesn't change. It just you know, amplify whatever's happening. So
I love it. Listen, we're jumping right into it then. So if you don't know, she was the award recipient for Rich in Relationships, okay? Yes. So her life hack is right on point, okay? Look, if they don't work in your life, let it go, all right? Move along.
Golf is not going to change that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and neither is lipstick on your teeth, okay? So, look, just be you. You okay. Just be yourself. So, Patrina, tell us a little bit about you. Because, I mean, you do so much. You're connected to so many people. But tell us a little bit about your background.
About my background. So I've been playing golf since I was 5.
Wow.
About 7, I was competitive. I clearly remember my father saying how good I can chip and putt when I was little, like better than him.
Wow.
Now, you got to know my dad. He is extremely competitive. So for him to say that, I don't think he told me that as an adult, though. But,
holding out a bit.
You know, when I was 7, that's what he told me. So golf is just a lifelong thing I've been doing. And, you know, for it to transition into Golf Women Mean Business, it's kind of, it was kind of natural. Now that I'm in it, but I would have never thought I would be here based on, you know, what the plan was. I'm from Edenton, Georgia, in the South. It's the country, so you're supposed to get your degree and get you a good job,
right?
You know, so to be here today was not in my view at all. Right. So, but then now that I'm here, it's just natural. Yeah. You know, because
it's in you.
Yep.
And it's just you being yourself.
That's
right?
it. Oh, absolutely.
Just being yourself
is top priority. Yes.
I know that's right.
Yes.
You said something about just going with the flow, and it wasn't where you started. It wasn't a part of the original vision. So as you got on this journey, how did you know it was time to switch up?
I still don't know.
We're still figuring it out.
Just doing what you love.
Well, because I am a believer, because of my mentor and, you know, a friend. A friend actually put this in my head. Her name is Dr. Maxine King.
Okay, yes.
She told me in a very early morning conversation years ago. She won't even remember this. If you see this, Maxine, you don't remember. But she said, delayed obedience is disobedience.
Yes.
She told me that. It was like 7 o'clock one morning. I don't talk to people that early. But she said that. And so I was like, all right, so let me just keep going. And then my mentor, you know, she was just clear on, you know, well, women need to know this. And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, no, they don't, because I was the only girl playing with a bunch of guys forever. Like, there were no girls. And they were kind of there, but just playing did not exist. So between my mentor and Maxine, here we are.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
awesome.
the girls didn't exist out there on the golf course.
No, especially ones that look like me. None existed. I did not meet a black girl playing golf.
Wow.
In high school. I didn't see a girl playing golf.
So you were competitive in high school
I
as
had
well?
to be. I told you about my daddy.
You ain't had no choice.
Man, listen, my daddy, you gonna see this. So, and I can talk like that now. I'm grown.
Okay.
You know? So, but no, and actually, it's kind of that whole, because of the level of competitiveness that was expected of me. That is why I didn't continue on the golf journey itself. Okay. You know, going to be pro and on tour and things like that. I thought about it a little bit in my 20s, but it's just not fun. You know, I am definitely a collaborative person more than a competitive person. You know, as professional women, we're naturally competitive. You know, we want to be good at something. We're not going to do anything, but to only go out and just beat people, you know, I'm not really built from that.
Yeah.
You know, but he is.
Yeah.
You know,
Your
for
dad
sure.
is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what kept you competitive growing up.
Yes. Yeah.
So now we know that, I mean, because of Golf Women Mean Business, there are black women on the golf course. I mean, this organization has thousands of members.
Hundreds.
Yeah, right. She playing small, being modest in this space, but let me tell you something, multiple chapters. So talk to the women a little bit about the purpose of Golf Women Mean Business.
It's ultimately to bring like-minded women together, to collaborate. We already live in a society where we're trying to pick who's the best. And if you even go back to like our music, the music has changed because only one person is supposed to exist in this area, and we don't have any variety anymore, you know. So it's really bringing together like-minded women to collaborate and do things together, because we can go further together.
I agree with that. We talk about that all the time in Rich Girls, that we're better together. And you won the award for Rich in Relationships.
Yes.
And so, yes. And I don't think it's by any mistake that, you know, you came up and you were nominated, because when you look at your background, so not only with your family, so when you talk about your dad, so relationships are, you know, we're talking about all kinds of relationships. So not just the marital relationships, but you've been married for how many years now?
21
years
21
to be
years.
Celebrated. Yes. To be celebrated.
Yes.
And then the relationships and connections you've made in business. I mean, talk about those relationships, because I think for a lot of people watching, those business relationships, sometimes it can be hard to navigate.
They could be. And a lot of that, I believe, comes from the notion of you're supposed to do certain things a certain way. It's a cookie cutter way of doing things when it's really not. Everyone doesn't wear their title on their sleeve. But there are people who will see someone with a certain title and then just kind of freeze up and act like a robot. And then that person doesn't, you know, they're like, oh, we're not here for that. So I'm going to move on to someone who's more normal. But
we don't want to play.
But it's really, it's being yourself. If you are yourself, you're going to attract the people that you like. And those, I mean, it's like what's for you, who's for you, is for you. And if you kind of work outside of who you really are, you're going to attract people who are attracted to that fake you.
That's good.
You know,
That's
and then you're going to go home tired. You're going to, like, and then when you get with them, it's just going to, over time, it's going to just fizzle out, because that's not what you're really looking for. You were trying to get in the door. You got in the door with that person, that fake or whatever, and that's kind of how it's gonna go.
Yeah, and it doesn't fulfill you
at all. Yeah,
it doesn't fulfill you.
No, and so golf, it's one of those things where it helps with that too, because everyone, no matter what your title is, you need to leave it in the car, because by 4 or 5 holes, somebody didn't hit the ball to trees, somebody in the water, somebody missed it, you know.
Yeah.
And we're all out there. The ball is the issue, you know. What you're doing out, you know, the title, that's great, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, it qualifies people to
Yes.
a certain level, but we don't need to just carry that around all the time.
We don't have to live in our achievements, right?
Right,
So
right.
you can't live in your achievements all the time. And so I do think that is something that, as women, we've, you know, been taught, or we've seen it, and that's sort of the way that we started going. And I think that people can get lost in that. I think we talked a little bit about this, like executive women. So coming out of the corporate space,
Yes.
and executive women just not really being able to find their true selves, or let their true selves shine.
Yeah, and I love executive women, but I do have a certain soft spot for them, because they have to compete against everybody
All the time.
Men, women, you know, some dogs in there, no matter, you know what.
Yeah,
They have to always be on,
Yeah.
because a lot of times, you know, someone's just waiting to knock them off.
Yeah.
You know, their best employee or best friend that they can confide in, you know, and that person may want your position if they're not there. And so they have to always be on.
All the time.
So I do have a soft spot for those women. So.
And when they come out there, they get to release it on the golf
And
course.
it's not that easy. They get out there and they're still trying to carry that, because they're not sure, you
How
know,
to let it go.
You have to always, they don't know how to let it go. But when they do, oh, it's a beautiful thing.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So I recently joined Golf Women Mean Business, and I have my first, what is it called? Clinic coming up. I'm like, wait, I don't want to say the wrong name. I have my first golf clinic coming up in about a week. And so I am excited to be a part of that, and just, you know, let it all out and experience something new. So I think you talked about that too, just like exposing women to something new and different because of the taboo of the golf course.
Yeah, and it's, you know, it goes back to creating that environment for women to be safe, because you can always go to the golf. Well, now that we ain't in the 50s no more, but you can go to the course and get a lesson. You know, you can go out and play with people, but you just want to be comfortable. I mean, thinking back to those executive women, you want them out there with women that they can trust, you know, to some extent anyway. And you know, golf, it's going to be, it's the level, the barriers of entry is just high. They're very high. And it's already, you got this going on at home, you got this going on at work, and now you want me to do this, and this is uncomfortable. I don't know what this is, and I'm used to being, you know, the best at everything, and I don't know how to do this. So it's a whole lot of things that's got to be broken down before you can even get out there and be comfortable. So we create that environment.
I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsors of the Beyond the Brunch series. It's already in you, life and leadership coaching, Miss Wanda White. She works with multifaceted women who are stuck in fear and insecurities to break free and gain confidence and clarity to work with their purpose fearlessly. For more information, visit her website at wandawhiteministries.com to stay connected and learn about upcoming events. For your auto, home, life, health, and small business needs, contact State Farm owner and agent Sherry Devouse-Dennard. Her office is open Monday through Friday in McDonough, Georgia. For more information, click the link in the description. SDD Agency insures all of Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina.
Okay, so my question is, after you forge these relationships, you know, just being authentically yourself, what do you do to nurture them? Like, you made so many relationships, business relationships, personal relationships, because I'm sure there are those that you do separate. So what's your process, and how do you nurture those relationships to keep them in that genuine space for you?
So I think it's all about being transparent with the person as to, you know, why you want to form the relationship. If there is a business situation in there, you know, be transparent with them. So when you follow up with them, you don't have to make it awkward and say, oh, hey, just calling to see what you're doing.
Right.
And then they're like, yep, 2 more of those, you're going to ask me from something. You know, they're going to know that.
Absolutely.
So, but if they know what the relationship is about, then, you know, you just follow up as usual and keep in touch and send your emails and your text messages. There's no cookie cutter way.
Right.
Because for me, I can meet people and don't talk to them for 6 months. And you can come back and ask me for, you know, whatever, something, or invite me to something after 6 months with no contact. And I'm going to pick up just like we just met, you know, but that's how I roll. Some people want you to do a little bit more than that, you know, work a little bit harder. It's going to depend on the person.
Right.
So it's no cookie cutter way. You know, just be genuine, authentic, and transparent.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think you all share that trait. Jalon is very much so like that. So even inside of Rich Girls, she is the person who, you know, leads us in our rich in relationships, conversations, and activities a lot. And so because she is this genuine type of person who's always like, doesn't matter how long she knowing you. Yes.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter. And she's just that person who she always can make the connection with somebody. So I think it's definitely, I think it's something we can learn to be better at. Yes.
You can. It's going to be harder for some. But yeah, it's definitely possible.
Yeah.
You know, it's just breaking down to what you were told you're supposed to be, and just becoming who you are. You know,
and also meeting people where they are.
Where they are.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, not expecting anything. Just meet them where they're at.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
One of the conversations, so I want to go back to talking about family relationships a little bit. So I know that a lot of women deal with, you know, at my age, we were raised, you know, our parents had us young. And so we come from that space where they say, you know, oh, you grew up with your mom, you know, and all that good stuff. And so in this space of family relationships, and so I always call it the first truths, the things we learned first come from this space with our family. And so talk to us about some of the things that you learned that maybe you had to unlearn from your dad as he, you know, taught you growing up.
Oh, my dad, my dad is very safe.
Okay.
He's a very safe person, competitive, but safe.
Okay.
I push the envelope. So I don't know if it's not something that I had to unlearn. It was something I had to balance.
Okay.
Because there are some things like where we're from, it's a small town. He kind of goes with the flow with like it's not a lot of injustice. So, and I will say our small town is different than some of the stuff we see on TV. Okay. But we don't have a lot of that drama.
Right.
But, you know, just some things I'm just like, well, how do y'all just let that happen? You know, y'all the citizens. And he's just like, oh, you know, and then he starts to, in my mind, how he's doing is checking the boxes, seeing how it's going to affect him, his family, you know, how and what the outcome is going to be. And if it's okay, he just kind of, well, it don't matter, don't have anything. And I'm just like, well, no, you can't let that happen. You got to do this, you know. So it was creating the balance. And I kind of picked up that whole checklist thing too. But I am also not a I'm okay and everybody else is not kind of person. I look at, you know, the community as a whole. So, nothing necessarily to unlearn, maybe the competitive part. Okay. I did have to kind of unlearn that. Because I was like, it's okay to have friends. You have to beat everybody. You don't have to beat everybody. So, yeah, and which ended up, you know, giving me that whole collaboration mindset. Okay. So, it wasn't a whole lot to unlearn. Good. You know, just balance.
And so what I heard was, and learning, you know, this next piece of, I can also speak up. So I don't have to, you know, just go with the flow. It's okay for me to speak up.
I got in trouble a lot about speaking up. So I never had to, like, I would have straight A's and a whole U under conduct. And they're talking about talking. Like, you know, the little honor roll ribbon? Yep. I used to just lift it up and see that U right there with all had these A's.
Because you had stuff to say.
I had some things to say, and I was going to say them. And, like, my teachers, they just knew. I don't know what it was. I tell people, my daddy gave me this confidence and independence. It wasn't an issue in my marriage, but it was very obvious that my husband had to say, listen now, you know, I'm not in specific words, but I'm the man.
Yeah.
you don't have to carry the chair, you
Okay,
know, or
gotcha.
whatever. I just posted something the other day about that. Like, you don't have to do the heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but I can. You know, you can, but you don't have to. So that's why I think my
Sounds
husband
familiar.
is.
Yeah,
He's
because
like
we
the
can
perfect-
do everything.
Yeah, and he's like the
We can do
perfect
everything.
person because he understood my crazy.
I like that.
Yes.
He understood her crazy, but he also let you be you.
Oh yeah.
You let him be him. Is that a part of tapping into our feminine energy that you hear people talking about now when we say it's okay to let them do it even though you can?
Absolutely.
Is
I
that
think
a part
it
of that
is.
too?
I think it is, and I got a lot of that from my aunts,
Okay.
his sisters.
Okay.
Those are the feminine queens, honey.
Okay.
Sports what? You know, I'm the sports person. They're like, no, it's too hot, sweaty. You
Go
know,
to the tea. Let's go to this tea.
Yeah, they had no interest. And then like my cousins, I had boy cousins.
Okay.
More male cousins than females, and so I grew up with them.
Yeah.
But my aunts, you can't be musty. You got to make sure you, wipe under your arms, and, as a kid and stuff. So
Yeah.
But you've learned how to balance that
I
too,
think
right?
I've learned that one. I did pretty good on that. Thank you, Auntie.
Okay, thank you for teaching us the things. We needed them. Listen, because
Yes.
this feminine energy, I think sometimes we can get lost even in that.
We
can definitely get lost in the feminine energy and putting on and, doing those things too.
So I kind of think of the Stedford wives
That's
when
a good
we getting lost in feminine. Yeah,
Yes.
I think of that with them. I've never had a real relationship with them. I don't think. If they are, they didn't tell me they're Stedford wives because we have nothing to talk about. Like, we don't have anything to discuss that that will make sense to either of us. No judgments or shade to them,
Right.
but my viewpoint on things is going to be very different.
Right.
So I think that's the whole getting lost in femininity.
Yeah, when it just goes way too far.
Yeah, like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
I need to wear that shoe. Husband, can I get this shoe?
Yeah,
This
no.
one works. Okay, I'm gonna get. I can't deal with
No,
that.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
That's no relationship
I'm more like,
that we want.
Sir, honey, what does this look like? You don't like it? I like it. We're good. Let's go. So
I love that.
yeah.
And I think even on the golf course, I know when I came out to a tournament recently, like the feminine energy even there was great from everybody. So it's not like, I think, to some of the stigma around it is, it's a man's sport and different things like that. But I mean, seeing y'all out there, I'm like, I can't wait to be out here. Me and one of the other rich girls, we're just like, I can't wait. I want to get in the golf cart. I want to do all the things.
Oh, we like to be cute too.
Yes.
Got selfies going on,
Yes.
and some of them smoke the cute cigars, and
Yes.
it's a way to do it.
See there?
Yeah, we have one of the ladies. She's got a nice picture. The photographer did it in black and white with her little smoke. I'm like, I wish I smoked cigars. But
Made you want to try it.
It was just cute. Huh?
It was cute.
It was just cute.
Yeah. It's definitely a way to do that. You don't have to be masculine to play any sport.
Right.
Yeah.
You just have to enjoy
Just
it.
picturing yourself hitting the tee just seems really cute. Anyway, hitting the ball off the tee.
And there's a way to do it. Yeah. I mean, now I don't know what I look like out there because I'm trying. Now I'm not too competitive, but I'm trying to kill it on the tee.
See
I'm
there?
trying to go. But once I
far
put
as we can.
my tool up, my driver,
She's back.
I'm like, okay, let's go.
Okay.
So yeah.
So let's talk about this networking that people are always talking about on the golf course.
Okay.
So I haven't been out there yet. You been out there?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
So
To the golf course?
I've been on
you've
to
been
the
to
driving
thing.
range.
Okay.
I have worked golf tournaments, but I've never been out here for this networking thing. So talk to us about that, because they're like, everything is happening on the golf course and y'all missing out. What we missing out on?
You're missing out on building an authentic relationship.
Okay.
That's ultimate in a nutshell. I mean,
Okay.
it's other little things to that, but there are some things that you can. It's only so much you can pick up in a cocktail hour.
Got it.
In a luncheon, and you gotta. You don't have to, but you get to understand how people react in different situations. The golf course creates that environment. You have sand, you got trees, you got water, you got,
All the elements.
all of that stuff. So if someone does something they don't want to happen, like if they hit the ball in the water, how are they going to react to that? If they lose, how do they react to that? Do they cheat? Do they not? You can determine what you're looking for in that person, but you can see that in that person. You're not going to see that at lunch. You know, that whole highlight reel that we put on like social media and stuff.
For a few minutes.
That's pretty much what you're going to get when something is planned. But a lot of unplanned things happen on the golf course. So you get to see the person who they are.
Yeah. Ooh, Lord. We on the way.
We coming, girl.
We on the way for this.
Putt count? No.
Putt-putt's a start. We have a putting tour. We have putting competitions, and you know that's to get you out there. So
It counts for us. Putt and Top Golf. That's about
Those are great stuff.
That's the closest I've got.
Yeah.
I've been on the driving range
Okay.
a couple times, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
we got to start somewhere, ladies. I think that's a great segment, place for us to sort of wrap up our conversation about starting somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, start building these relationships. Okay, if you have relationships that you need to work on, that you need to build more of, listen, look inside, see who you are first. We talk a lot about building a relationship with ourselves first. Be good with you. You heard it from Patrina. Be your authentic self, okay? Be your authentic self. There's nobody else in the world that can be you but you. And we want to connect with you, all right? So be sure to stay connected with us on all of our social sites. Patrina, will you let everybody know how to stay connected with you?
Social media, all things Golf Women Mean Business.
Yes.
Yep, all things.
And for Golf Women Mean Business, what about all these chapters? I didn't circle back to that. Talk to us about the chapters that you currently have.
Yeah, so we are here in Georgia. We have 3 in the state right now. We have, and it's North Metro, South Metro, and Central. And, you know, you just kind of look at the line and see where you fall.
Okay.
Then we have Maryland. They are mostly in Bowie area.
Okay.
And then Houston, Texas.
Okay.
So,
Listen, so they out here. You have opportunities to connect with Golf Women Mean Business. So from a relationship standpoint, what would you tell our friends in parting as they are just building their relationships and growing? What would you share with them?
Number one, just I'm going to go back to being yourself and understanding what you want.
Okay.
That's the best way to longevity and to stay sane.
I totally
Don't forget
agree.
that part.
Yeah.
Don't forget that
Yeah.
part about staying sane.
Yes.
Yeah. So, because it can be it can do wear and tear if you're just kind of there going through the motions because you're supposed to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's almost like getting a job you don't have to take a vacation from. You know. So, yeah.
That's how you want your relationships
That's how
to
you
be.
want your relationships.
All the relationships that you don't have to take vacations from.
Yes.
Every one of them. Y'all heard that?
Yep.
Relationships that you don't need a vacation from. She started out telling us, look, if they don't fit your vibe, just get rid of them. I mean, we came into this episode. If they don't fit, listen, they get on your nerves, let it go. But I think it's just protecting our mental, protecting our peace, right?
It is, and you know, and I understand that it's not something that someone can just do. Like I'm not telling you how old I am, but you know, I had to grow into that. But I will say, I wish I had taken this on earlier because it is much easier once you're in it.
Yeah.
But trying to unlearn that what you were taught and that you can do that, it's the most beautiful thing ever.
I love that. Well, listen, friends, we thank you so much for tuning in with us again for Life of a Rich Girl show. Today, this Beyond the Brunch series was with Miss Patrina King of Golf Women Mean Business. Make sure you connect with her, and we can't wait to see you on the next episode.